of JJ laying face down and now looking at the lower extremities. Again, just showing the decomposition changes at the lower extremities. And you can see there's extensive skin slippage and partial degloving or skin slippage of the feet.
Doctor, if you can describe what you see in 176D.
So this is a photograph of JJ's right upper arm. And during this autopsy, I was essentially, like we talked about during the external examination, I was looking for any evidence of natural disease or any evidence of trauma that could help explain why JJ may have died. So this jumped out to me. This was a bruising on the lateral right upper arm, or at least what appeared to be bruising to my eye.
And did you do any further tests to verify that bruising?
Yes. So I briefly discussed it yesterday, but decomposition can cause areas to look like bruising. So to confirm that it was, I made multiple incisions and I looked for hemorrhage in the subcutaneous tissue to confirm that it was true bruising. In addition to that, I did take sections of the areas and looked at it under the microscope as well, to looking for hemorrhage in the tissues.
States Exhibit 176E.
So this is a close-up photograph of the bruise that I just described on the right upper arm.
In States Exhibit 176FF.
So this is the bruising on the right upper arm, and I've made an incision, and I'm looking for hemorrhage in the subcutaneous tissue. And if you can see, I'm holding it up with the forceps to show that there is hemorrhage in the subcutaneous tissue.
And again, without the benefit of a pointer, is this the area you're referring to? And where that color appears to be darker, is that what you're referring to?
That's correct.
And so did that lead you to a conclusion as to the bruising?
That led me to believe that that was true bruising, and it wasn't just artifactual bruising or from the decomposition process.
What did you observe in States Exhibit 176GG?
So this is a photograph of JJ when he's face down, and this is a photograph of the left upper arm. And there was an area of concern for bruising on the left upper arm as well.
And again, without the benefit of a pointer, I'll use my pen. Is this the area you're referring to?
Yes.
What did you observe in 176HH?
So similar to the right arm, I made an incision into that area on the left arm looking for subcutaneous hemorrhage. You can see there is focal hemorrhage in the subcutaneous tissue. It's located near the bottom left portion of the incision.
And did that lead you to any conclusions about, and just to be clear, is this the area you're speaking of?
Yes.
Did that lead you to any conclusions about the nature of those markings?
Yes, again, I believe that it was true bruising.
Can you describe what you observed in 176I?
This is a photograph of JJ's right hand. One, you can say there's extensive skin slippage and partial degloving of the skin. And then also what jumped out to me, you can see the right thumb. I believe we discussed it yesterday, the right subungual hemorrhage. So you can see his right thumbnail shows diffuse bright red hemorrhage.
We spoke yesterday about type of force necessary to cause something like that, correct?
Correct.
And just because it was yesterday, if you could just briefly remind the jury of your testimony on that matter.
Yeah, so in order to get something like that, there has to be some kind of trauma or some kind of force to that area. And I think yesterday I gave the example of, you slam your finger in the door you're going to get that subungual hemorrhage. Not saying that's what happened, but you have to have some kind of force impacting that area to get hemorrhage like that.
You can describe what you saw on 176JJ.
This is a photograph of JJ's left lower extremity near his ankles, upper shin area. I believe I touched on it yesterday that there were some areas that looked concerning for bruising after we removed the duct tape from his ankles. So this is the area I was talking about. You can see the skin, for the most part, is light green discoloration. And then the area, there is a focal area that has a very dark appearance to it. So to the naked eye, I thought that this very well could represent bruising.
And did you do any follow-up testing on that?
Yes, I did the same thing that I did with the upper arms. I made multiple incisions.
And did you, what were your findings?
I did not see any subcutaneous hemorrhage in the tissues on either the left ankle or the right ankle.
Doctor, if you can describe what you observed in States Exhibit 176LL.
So this is a photograph of JJ's neck. Specifically, it's the left side of his neck. You can see on the upper portion of the photograph is his left ear. And there is a collection of brown to dark brown to red scratch-like abrasions, some of them with dark red hemorrhage that involve the left side of the neck and near the left angle of the jaw.
In States Exhibit 176MM. Is that the same thing?
Yes, this is a close-up. Again, you can see the vast majority of the skin has this faint kind of green skin discoloration, and then there's a fairly large collection of linear and irregular light brown to dark brown to red scratch-like abrasions on the neck and angle of the jaw.
Why was that of note to you?
Well, in any case, and especially a case like this, you want to simply document every injury that you find. So that's important. Also, at least in my experience, they look like scratch-like abrasions. So it's important in this case, considering there's a white plastic bag over his head. Are these scratch-like abrasions from the individual putting the plastic bag over his head?
Judge, I'm going to object at this point. Calls for speculation.
Your Honor, I don't think he's speculating. He's talking about different methods by which those abrasions could occur.
It's overruled.
It could also be from JJ himself trying to get the bag off of his head. I wasn't there. I don't know. But these are the types of things that go through my head and the possibilities.
Thank you. And again, doctor, just because we had a bit of time between yesterday and today, based on your opinion, what was the cause of death of JJ Vallow?
I determined the cause to be asphyxia by plastic bag over the head and duct tape covering the mouth.
Your Honor, I'd ask that the witness now be shown what's been marked as States Exhibit 177A through EE.